Hello everybody and welcome to Everdell. Here I have two cameras. See? Hi. So I get to have the annoying task of trying to edit this when I'm done. So here we're gonna build our cities out. We have player one on this side of the border and player two on this side of the border, which is how I figured I'll just do it at least for this run through. Let's see what I end up coming with for in the future. But for now, for this playthrough, this is what I'm gonna go with. So, like I say, player one, player two. So player one is gonna be playing as the frogs. Player two is gonna be playing as the mice. So we have everything set up for just a basic base game. We have our 8 cards in the field. We have our twigs, resin, stone, and berries. We have our events. We have our super basic events and our other events up in the tree. We have our other meeple, animeeples, I guess is what we're going with in the ever tree. One per spring, one more per player in the summer, and 2 more per player in the autumn. We have 3 forest locations placed out because this is a 2-player run through. So there is no 4th player spot, and everyone's only allowed to use one of the player spots because we can see that the second spot is only for a 4-player game. We have our point tokens here. Everyone gets a hand of cards, which has not been dealt out yet, and they will all share these cards in the field. So let's have everyone get their cards now. Yeah, I am correct. So player one, I'll just go here. Player one is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Player two gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. This just goes back in the ever tree. And so the cards that player one has are going to be the ones in his hand, and also the opportunity to build these ones as well. This is essentially a shared hand. So player one has 13 cards, 5 plus 8 cards to build out. How do we do that? What are we even doing? We'll get there when we get there. Player two, of course, is going to look at their cards and know what they have and decide on what they're going to do when they get there. So when we start, we each have 2 meeples. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using these to gather resources to build cards, and we can see the cards have their own power to it. So if you look on the board, there's several places that have worker placement spots. We can see that some cards also have it. So not all of them. It's actually not a common thing that they all see everything, but everything still has their own what they do. So I promise that I will forget sometimes that certain cards do something. That is just the nature of, well, Everdell looks like this cute small game. Well, there's a lot more interaction to it, and a lot of things you have to keep track of, and a lot of things you need to pay attention to while you're playing. And while playing for 2 players, while running 2 cameras, and just trying to also just play the game, you have my solemn oath that I will forget stuff all the time. Okay, so if that sounds good to you, what would we like to do? Well, we have here the resources that we would need to be able to build anything, or the condition to build it. And as for, we do have a critter. As for critters, we also have the condition to build the critter card, but we also have up here, if we were to, oh, we have 2, okay, whatever. If we were to have a school built, so like this is a post office, if we had a school built, we could place a little, one of these doors on that. So in this case, I'll go into a different example. In this case, if we had the postal pigeon, we would just lay that there and boom, we can play our postal pigeon for free. Once this is built, here, Once this is built, once it's in the city, you place that. Once it's in the city, built. You pay the resources, built. Say you had the postal pigeon, you simply put that there, and boom, now you can play the postal pigeon for free. If the postal pigeon was taken away, this does not get taken away. This post office is what brought that postal pigeon here in the first place. That power has been used up. That's done. So that's playing cards. And I think to get us started, that's probably sufficient. So now it's a matter of deciding, what do we even want to build? We don't have any resources. We have our basic, get a berry, a card, a stone, a couple of cards, and a point, a resin and a card, a couple resin, a couple twigs and a card, or a few twigs. So that's nice, getting a few twigs right off the bat. But we also have, this is what the forest locations are. So we have the ability to get more than just those basic locations. And there are several of these forest location cards. So there are several opportunities to have more than just the just the basic ones. And in this case, for a 2-player game, 3 chances. So we also have, let's do this better. We can draw 2 meadow cards and play one for 1 less resource. This basket full of different resources is the symbol for any resource. So pay 1 less of any resource, and discard any card, then draw 2 for every 1 card. So this is very much a card-heavy game, it looks like. So we will be concerning ourselves with what kinds of cards we have, how many cards we have, what are we going to do with the cards, and not so much with, well, let's have a bunch of resources so we can build anything. We're looking more for what kind of cards can we get, what can we do to manipulate that. I am not a strategic expert. If you were to stop playing here and go on and say that makes sense, fantastic. I do not promise that that is how I will play. I just enjoy the game. I just enjoy playing. I seem to enjoy playing for the camera. I'm not the best at pretty much any game. But hey, sometimes it's just nice to have more of game I like. And in this case, Everdell. So here we go. Let's see if we can do something. So because we can't really build, and this says you don't need to have anything, but you do need to have a construction down already. So what I would like to do, of course, is, so what these green cards do is give you the opportunity to get this more times than once. So when you build a green card, you get its power. And what's the other one? This brown bindle one. You play it, you get its power, and whatever it is, that's done permanently. Okay. The green ones. Oh, I even have one in my hand. You get the 1 power. That's it, and it's done. It's done. You don't look at it again till the end of the game to get whatever amount of points it is. There's been a -2 and a 0, but there are ones that give positive points as well. So the green cards, however, you do get what it says right away, so that's nice. But also, you get it again in the spring when you get new workers, and again in the autumn when you get new workers. Or I guess I should say when you get 1 new worker in the spring, but you get 2 new workers in the autumn. Anyways, so if you were to have one of these green cards, seriously take a look at building it right away, because you have the potential to get whatever this is 3 times. When you first build it, when you move into spring, and when you move into autumn. So that is what I'm looking at right now. So we have draw 2 cards, keep 1, and give the other 2 to an opponent, so that we would just need 2 berries for that. That's not bad. Also, simply gain a berry. If you have farm in your city, gain 1 additional berry. Is there even a farm? Okay, so we do not have a farm that we are able to potentially build. That is fine. I also kind of feel like we're dealing with cards a lot as it is. So do I really want to consider this? I mean, I do want to consider it because we also have that space of that one. Draw two cards for everyone discarded. So if we're getting an extra card, which, by the way, our hand limit, like what is actually in our hand, like I have 5 cards right now, is 8. We are strictly not allowed to even draw a card if we have more than 8 cards. Some games, if you have more than your hand limit, you just discard one and draw one. No, uh, you can't even draw. You have to be building or discarding in other ways that cards would allow you to do. So what we're going to do is, I literally do not know. So how about instead of rambling on, I'm going to do something. Okay. I also would like to be working towards these goals. And this is one of my weaknesses, remembering to even do this. So that's your warning right now. Um, if you are able to get in your city an undertaker and a barge toad, what you can do is place a worker on this card. So that's using up a worker action for this season to gain this card. So in this case, when achieved, pay 2 berries. So you'll have to have 2 berries and discard 2 cards from your city. So you may have, this would actually be pretty nice if you had cards you don't even want in your city, or you had cards that are would give you less than 6 points. Boom, this gives you more than that. Also, even if not, you say you have 15 cards in your city, you get rid of 2, now you can suddenly have more cards in your city. That, yeah, maximizes your points. So my point is that I'm trying to get to is Undertaker, Barge Toad. If you have those, remember to look at these cards up here. So this is Monastery Wanderer. This is 2 each of the different types of cards. So you need 2 bindles, 2 greens, 2 reds, 2 blues, 2 purples. So if you did end up with 2 of each of those in your city, that's at least 10 cards plus however many you end up building otherwise. You would get 9 points if you were to put a worker on this. This one's that's 9 points is a lot of points in this game. For a single card, that's a lot of points. So this is that kind of game. And a courthouse and a ranger. There are also basic events. So this is just a standard basic. You put your worker on there and you get that. What is the condition of that? This is permanently printed on the board. So this, you would need 3 bindle cards in your city to be able to place your worker on to get that. This one you would need 4 of those green cards. This one you would need 3 red cards, and that one you would need 3 blue cards. So that's 3 points per one of those. So if you're like, hey, easy 3 points, I already have 15 cards in my city, I might as well start claiming those with my workers. Well, fantastic. That's a great thing to do with those. So these are just points. This is literally 1 point. So like this space here says take 2 cards and give yourself a point. Well, this is what they mean. Literally take this. So at the end of the game, you will have, these are the points that they're worth. And this, for example, would be you get 3 points. Okay. This isn't money. This isn't anything but points. I am, of course, using the deluxe stuff. And I think I can get going. I am not a strategy guide. I just want to play, okay? So let's go with the draw card. So what that means, what I mean by that is I'm going to take this. I'm going to place them on the worker spot that says take 2 berries and 1 card. So I'm just going to, oh shoot, I just dropped that on the floor. I'm going to leave that there and continue on. So I'm just going to place player 1's stuff there and draw a card. So player 1, it now has 2 berries, and that means the potential to put the teacher in the city. Of course, it's nice to have a school, but we don't have that as an option right now. And maybe you don't want to be building things so quickly, so fast, but who knows? Maybe player 1 knows what they're doing. I suppose that is a potential, has potential. So I'm just showing you. That's the other card player 1 has. Okay, so that's all you do. On your turn, you place a worker to get resources. Actually, not even to get resources. You place a worker. That's one option to do. Whatever that worker spot says, that's what that's what you do. So in this case, yes, player one's gathering resources, yes, but it is also possible, like I said, to place it on your own spot that you just built and do whatever that says. And a lot of the times, players are going to have cards, okay, so that have worker spot, and that is exclusive to themselves. But in this case, we see this open sign. So that's going to give other players the opportunity to also go to this spot as well. And that gives the player who owns the card, you can see that there, 1 extra point. So that 1 extra point doesn't come from the player. Literally, whoever's it is would just like that. Now you get a point, not even from the player. So there's no penalty to the player, to either player, to using a spot beyond, the one player can't use it anymore, but he gets a point. So, okay, that's a little bit of a make up. So maybe another player could see what they're doing and say, oh, I don't like where you're going with that, so I'm going to use that. I don't know. Or just like, oh, I want to use that so much that I'm just going to. So there we go. Okay, so that's player one, is my point. So player one, cards there. So what's player two going to do? Well, what do we got? So we have a judge. Oh, sorry. So we have a judge. When you play a critter construction, you may replace any resource with any resource. So that's nice. Gain a resin. You may pay up to 2 of anything to gain an equal amount of anything. Oh, so these are somewhat similar, except 2 and 1. I kind of really want to work towards this. Ruins. So if ruins are like 0 points though. So maybe it is worth it in this case to just have the 2. On the other hand, there are some constructions. I was about to say there are some constructions that you have to get rid of a construction, but I think the ruins is what I'm talking. Oh, he even has a post office as well. Okay, so and gain a stone. So in this game, a stone is pretty rare. So this would be not bad if you were having cards, if you had cards where you would want to keep, building towards that, towards cards that have stones on it. So so if you were able to get a stone in the first place, as well as a twig and a resin, then you would, especially if you were able to somehow do that. It turns out we can't really do that with what we have here. But if we were able to do this in spring, to be able to get 3 stones just because we have this card built beyond the one needed to even build this in the first place, that would be really nice. But this pay up to 2 of any resource for to gain an equal amount of any resource. This is nice. I think. Is it possible? I mean, it is possible, but player 1 already took the 2 berry spot. That could have been really nice. It is possible for player 2 to place a guy at 2 berry spots. Does he really want to do it that badly? That's the thing. So we have a twig and a resin. So there isn't really any spots here that is letting us get more resources. There are forest cards that say, get a couple of any wild resource or, whatever, that kind of thing. But that's not what this game is about. So we're kind of stuck to, you're getting one type of a resource, and that's it. So we're kind of stuck with what we're kind of stuck with. All right, so okay, so what are we going to do? Well, okay, so this post office is give an opponent 2 cards, discard any number of cards, and draw up to your hand limit. Okay, so that deals with cards, but not really resources. Although if we built this helps us, this does help us to to swap resources. So you can see that there's this spot where there's the twigs. So there is a chance that we could get 3 twigs. So maybe player 2 is thinking it would be worth it to use up all the winter actions, maybe to play this. You know what? I'm just gonna go with that. I gotta go with something, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So let's go on the spot that says gain a berry and a card. So we will gain the berry. And if we had 8 cards, oh come on. If we had 8 cards, we just simply wouldn't take the cards. So we have 7 cards. Seriously, we have 7 cards now. Okay. Anyways, that's just how it goes sometimes. So, all right, just a reminder, I shoot in my kitchen and it's everyone's kitchen, and so let's continue on. So looking at player 1's cards, I was thinking maybe this might be all right. Keep John cards forever. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the berries that we gained and we will put them in the basket and the card that we wish to build, and we have the resources to do it, and we have proof. See, we just got rid of those berries. We are now able to draw a card after you play critter or construction. So these blue cards are innate. These are ones that basically you always want to be looking at because they might always be doing something for you throughout the game. So you want to keep these, the blue cards, at the 4 that you're always glancing at, so you don't forget, oh, right, I'm able to do a thing. So the green cards are the, you do it once, you do it again at spring, you do it again in autumn. So just tuck them off and just maybe keep them together so you don't lose track of the green ones. The red ones you can see are worker placement spots. The brown bindles are, you literally do it once, that's it. And the purple ones are, these are the deluxe points that you get at the end of the game. So the blue cards are the ones you want to always be casting an eye to, like I say. So that is player 1's turn. So instead of drawing a resource, he played a card. So that's player 1's turn. So now player 2 is indeed going to continue on his merry and get another berry. That's the turn. Player 1 now needs to decide, do you want, not even do you want, what do you want? Do you want to start maybe going after building this, which could have been all right to start with. Maybe I should have even started with that. Hey, see what a good teacher. Don't do what I do. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to play. Did we have? No, that was the other one. Let's go with maximum. I was about to say let's go with maximum resource and put this on the resin. But if I mean it with maximum, how about we do go with resin this time? It's not going to build a card, but then neither would gathering sticks build a card. And we can't gather berries anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just gather the resin. Then we'll have something for spring when we go into there. That'll be player 1's resources. That's player 1 is done winter, basically. Player 2. Now, you can pay any 2 of any resource to get an equal amount of any resource. And that seems nice. Up to 2 is super nice. Oh, also, I might make this mistake, so I'm telling you right now. This is a common critter, and we have other ones. This one's called a unique critter, but that's not to say that there's only one card in the entire deck. That's to say you can only build one unique critter in your city. So I'm letting you know it is very possible for me to forget that I have a unique critter or a unique construction, or a unique, oh, that's a critter. whatever, or a unique construction. I don't expect that I will build two, but it is entirely possible. That's why I'm letting you know right now. So I am going to build this peddler. So it'll be nice to get a bunch of resources, and then I can just trade it for anything, up to two for anything. I can't do this spring because I will have no resources. But when it comes back to crud, I just realized what I'm saying. This isn't a worker spot where you can do that. This is, you can do this now. Shoot. Well, I would rather, would I rather have it? Or would I rather, have that kind of power whenever I play a critter or construction? It costs one more, but I would be able to do it a lot more. You know what? I'm going to say pass. So player one says, well, I can't do anything more. Slash, if you can do something more and you don't want to, you don't have to do something more. But I'm not going to do anything more in this case because I can't. So player one is just going to take his workers back and gather a new worker from the tree. And now we place it down here. And player one now has 3 workers. And that's the third thing you can do. Gather resources, build cards, get your guys back. Now, do we have any? So we got the guy, and Spring says we are also able to do the green card production. We see over here, we do not have a green card. We just have the one blue card. Perhaps we should have built a green card. Perhaps we could have built the teacher, which was our original plan anyways, but we ended up not doing that, and you got to live with that now. So now player 2 says, I'm doing the same thing. I would rather build that judge than that critter, other critter. So beaver, right? Yeah, peddler. So we simply take our guys back, which sometimes people don't realize or confuse or miss the part. You don't have to be in the same season at the same time. If player 1 was going into spring, but player 2 was still able to do something, player 2 could continue playing in winter until they finally have to pass, and then they would move to spring. And I don't see it being literally possible, but if someone figured out how, they could be in spring still while someone else is in autumn. You don't have to be in the same season at the same time. You simply construct or gather resources or move to, or finish the season so that when it comes back to your turn, you're not sitting there. You have now moved on to the next season, whether or not anyone else has moved on to the next season. So that's player 2 taking their final guy, and they do not have a card played out already, which is not the end of the world, because a lot of the times what ends up happening is, oh no, it's the start of the game, I can't build much, or I can't build anything. What ends up happening is partway through autumn, with that mindset, is, oh no, I still am able to do several things, however, I only have 15 spaces and they're all filled up now. So it's not the end of the world to start the game not having, to start spring not having anything. You can still catch up. You can maybe higher tier players are able to even say, I'm going out of my way to not build anything in spring because I'm able to make more use of my time and my resources and the cards that I have and the ones that are in the meadow over here. So that's player 2's turn. So player 2 is not worried yet about not having built something because they know what they want to build. So player 1 now has 3 guys. What would he like to do? Is there some kind of, so we have a bard and a theater here. So if I was able to build the theater, I could I can build the bard for free. And only have a post office and general store in our hand. So yes, I am kind of bouncing around about what it is that I'd like to do, and I am perfectly fine with that. Hey, let's keep things interesting. So we already have two of these resin here, so maybe what player one wants to do is maybe build the theater. Yes, it is possible that player two can see them doing that and want to grab the bard instead and so forth, but let's go with that. Let's say, well, we already have the resin and we need 3 sticks and a stone. So we can see that even if we're not able to get all 3 sticks with this spot, we're still able to get 2. So we're able to still do something with that one. Stone, especially in this game, we can see it's going to be exceptionally hard to get. So we're going to go to the stone basic location first and get the 1 stone that is available out of all the worker spots and be happy with that. That's player one's turn. It's player two. Player two is saying, no, I want that judge. That judge is happening. This is happening. I am getting this. So this spot is almost the same as this spot, except you get 2 berries instead of 1. I only need 1, but like, why would I let you have more if you can have less? We're playing competitively here, and I'm mean or something, I don't know. And draw a card. Oh, and I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the last card player 2 is able to draw. And if we built this, we would simply draw 2 cards. And we're already in spring, so if we built this, we would draw 2 cards. And then again in autumn, draw 2 cards. And that's what we would need to build it. So player 2 has a plan. So that's what we're going to do. So player 1 wants to gather for that. So let's thank you for leaving the spot that I want open. You must have a plan that you're enacting, letting me enact my plan. And of course, I'm fine with that. So that's player 1 is playing a worker. Player 2 is going to build their first card. So again, discard 3 berries, and when you play a critter or construction, you may place 1 with 1. So lovely. So we get to keep 1 of the berries. And the next time I play a critter construction, I can replace this berry if I so choose. There we go. That is player 2. Now, player 1 is going to go ahead and build. So let's take this. This is the 1 card we're building, so if we were taking more than 1 card right now, we would take the cards, then fill up, but we're just taking the 1, and therefore, and this is end of game scoring, so I'm just going to set that aside here. This is the card I want to make sure that I'm drawing a card after I play a critter or construction, if I'm even able to. 3, 4, 5, yes, I'm able to draw a card. So now we get another we can do the same thing the other player 1 did. Oh, and there's another thing. So we can see that some cards have these abilities, right? Well, this one has a special limit, so that's something you also need to keep in mind. It may not be used with any other card playing ability. So if we wanted to use this power, we could only use this power. So in this case, if I had even more than this just says do it. And if I had another card that says just do it, then I would do this and that one. And if there was a third one, I would do this one and that one and that one. And I can choose the order I do it in. Alternatively, I can do only this. And because I can't do it with anything else. When you play a critter construction, you may replace 1 resource of anything with 1 any resource. That might be worth playing. It might be worth having that option. Oh, okay. So anyways, I've gone through that card. So player 2 has that same card. So again, they're only what I just explained. So they can use that, and if they had more, they could not do that. So that will be player. No, it is not player 1's turn done because player 1 has not even paid these resources yet. So we have 3 twigs, 1 resin, and 1 stone. So they're left with 1 resin. So they may wish to keep that in mind. we will see. So we did draw the card, so it is indeed player two's turn. So what would we like to do? Is there something we would like to do? Is there some, I'm gonna be real honest, if there's any synergy, I pretty much automatically go for it. Oh, and there is, here, I'll do it on this one. And there is a fool in the city. What does the fool do? Well, while player one is looking away, I'm going to bring this up and show it to you. Play this fool into an enemy space in an opponent's in an empty space. This isn't that kind of game. In an empty space in an opponent's city. Okay, so maybe, maybe player two is that way. We've kind of seen that. Yeah, player two is kind of a. Okay, so we're able to draw two cards if we play this. So a twig, two resin, a stone. A twig, a stone. The stone is what would be hard to get. The other two we could actually do this round. This round, but yeah, season. I mean, if that's what you want to focus your time on, player two. Okay. Okay. You have a plan. It doesn't mean it's a good plan, but all right. It's your plan. If you okay. Player one. Player one has just built the theater. Player two would not have been able to play this bard anyway, so he's going to where is it? Up there. Okay. So we can see oh my okay, so I'm already holding it. Okay. So we have the theater built. And if we have the theater, we can play this bard. And I can discard the cards to gain 1 point each. That might not be worth it. Although some cards I might want to get rid of anyways. And okay, so what can you see in this? You cannot see it in this camera. So I'm going to take this. And I will indeed, as previously explained, use its power. Let's go to the other camera and set it back down in the city so that this single power use card, I can discard up to 5 cards to gain a point each. Maybe that's more useful later. Here, let's restock that. Ruins! Ah, they're ruins! Okay. Okay. Am I looking at getting rid of something? Post discard a construction from your city, gain resources equal to that construction cost, and draw 2 cards. The ruins is actually nice, especially when it's later in the game and you're like, well, I want a space. Oh, I can get resources and a space. Isn't that lovely? Oh, wait, I am incorrect. I want a bunch of resources. I'm willing to give up points because this card replaces that. I'm willing to give up points to get those resources and more cards. Okay, now's not the time to be doing that. Okay, you know what? Draw 2 cards, keep 1, give to the other opponent. I feel like I don't need to have 2 of those. Okay, that's not bad. Gain a berry. This is just gain berries. And at this point, you would be gaining 2 berries. But if you built the judge, and I like the idea of having a worker spot. Give an opponent 2 cards, discard any number of cards you drop to your hand limit. 2. We already. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give this up. That'll be 2 points for those ones. You know what? Let's do that. Let's give up 2 cards to get 2 points. Okay? That seems perfectly fair to me. Okay? And our discard pile will just be, oh, wait. Our discard pile will be just right there. And that is incorrect. Face card, discard pile will be right there. Discard is face down. I'm sure, I'm guessing. I'm sure later on you play this game a bunch, you start memorizing cards. This card might not be, and then you start thinking, oh, maybe it's into this card, that kind of thing. So that's going to be player one's turn. Okay, discard. Oh, and gain 1 point per card. So we now have 2 points plus the point value for the cards in the city. So we should have given one. Gain a berry. Gonna give up 3 cards to get in 3 points. I don't know. Let's keep it. Let's just keep it and go on. Okay. And draw a card after you play a critter or a construction. So let's draw a card. A crane. When you play a construction, you may discard this crane from your city to place that construction for 3 fewer resources. Construction. Ooh. So I like. So if you only needs 3 resources in the first place. From your city. So you have to have it built in your city in the first place. So you want to have that already. Okay. That's just going to go there. Anyways. Player 2. Okay, so player 2 wants to do something. Okay, player 2 is not going to be gaining stone this turn. Everyone wants stone, and it's super hard to get. And I do want to just play a critter or construction so that I can change that to a stone, change the berry to a stone. So am I able to build something where I'm not using up a ton of resin, where I'm not, can I use a twig? If I could use 1 twig and 1 resin, this is my problem. It has to be oh, it could be a critter too. I only have 1 berry though. Oh man. And 2. Man, catch 22. If I don't do this, then I can't do that. But I can't do that because I haven't done arg 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 arg. So let's go gathering twigs maybe? Because we're not getting stone. And maybe it's not worth it getting only 1 berry. Just thinking about this one, of course, because then I can put the fool in player 1 city. But we need the stone. So we need. Okay. It's that stone that's going to kill us. 1, 2, and 1. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And indeed, we can draw this. Ooh, innkeeper. I'm just looking to see. Oh, there's no inn. In the field, when playing a critter, you may discard this innkeeper from your city to decrease the cost by 3. Okay, I see. Okay. So we have 2 twigs anyway. And I don't think we're able to build anything with that. I'll worry about that when it comes back around to our turn, because it's player 1's turn now. Player 1 still has a worker. What he's going to do with that worker, he is unsure. And no one has stone. Judge, teacher, crane. That stone. Okay, so we have player, teacher, draw 2 cards, keep 1, and give the other 2 to an opponent. Even if I went for berries, I'm still only getting one berry. Or I could just go for two cards and a point. No, it's better to have any resources, I think, and one card rather than two cards and one more point. Or you could try playing the point game. I don't know if that'll work out for you, but okay. So we get postal pigeon. So that's nice for the post office. And dungeon. Well, doesn't that sound ominous? Okay. And of course we need stones to be building that. Postal pigeon for post office. So maybe you can start focusing on building this. Give an opponent two cards, discard a number of cards, drop it to your hand limit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And another point. Okay, so we get put the point there. So now player 2 says, okay, I'm done. Player 1's like, wait, you're done? You're moving on already? No, that means you're going to get stone. So player moves into summer and draw 2 meadow cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is not happening. So that's player 2 is done. Player 1, who has 3 cards as opposed to player 2's 1 card. All right. Well, I guess I have to do that too. So let's prepare for summer. 1, 2, 3. Grab summer and 2 meadow cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I can only draw 1 card from the meadow. Is there something that I would like to guarantee? Architect. Okay, the architect's not bad. And I had the crane, right? Yes, I even have the crane. If I'm able to somehow get a stone, that would be worth it. So I will go for the architect because the architect lets you gain 1 point for each of your unused resin and stone. There will be no unused stone, I swear, to a maximum of 6. Okay, we can only draw 1 card. Now we're at 8. So let's refill this. The courthouse. The courthouse is good for a judge. You need 2 stone to build that. Well, that's all player 1 can do. Well, player 2 immediately jumps onto stone. There's no way he's not doing that. So player 1 saying, okie dokie. I really want to build this. But I don't have my own judge out. Okay, we're back. Player 1 needs to figure out something that doesn't involve stone. That is the trick. That is the trick. So, yes, let's focus hard on building this post office. I will get the 2 resin now. I will put my worker in the 2 resin spot. Let's get something built. I could have the 1 resin and 1 card, but that's a waste because I, eight cards already. So player 2. Player 2 has stone. Now player 2 has options. Now player 2's has been wanting to play this to be able to play the Fool into player 1's city. So it could be either. But it will be the one that is in the meadow, because why would you play it from your hand when you can just hold on to it when player when player 1 still has access to that. If I play the one that's here, player 1 no longer has access to that, and I still have access. Well, I didn't realize this was so far out of camera. I still will hold on to that, so player one isn't holding on to that. So this is getting built. So here we are building this now. 1 twig, 2 resin, the 1 stone that we're able to get. And next season, we're only able to get 1 stone. So that. Yes, folks, these cities are usually a little bit more occupied by this point. What do you do? So now that it's played, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This says draw 2 cards. We only can draw 1 card. So, we have the historian again. Draw a card after you play critter construction. Okay. Now we have this innate power. We're not done our turn. We did this draw, and when you play a critter or construction, you may replace 1 resource with 1 resource. I'm going to go ahead and guess this is going to become a stone. And now player one's going, oh my, seriously. And because there's no other blues, he played the 1 blue he had. Hey, and I said bluey. Okay, so player 1. Player 1. Well, I'm able to do a thing because then I can also have the postal pigeon. And it's not getting me points, but I can reveal 2 cards, which could potentially have a build a card. So I'm just going to do that. It gives me a focus, so I'm going to do that. So, and of course, I want to get as much as possible in this case. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's my turn. Player 2. Now, player 2 has these things built. Player 2 is grabbing one of these, and player 1's looking like, oh no, you have to be kidding me. You only have 1 construction and you're using it. The Fool! Play this Fool into an empty space in an opponent's city. That's its power. Also, it's worth -2 points. Okay, I'm just going to put that with the Bindles. Yeah. Okay. That's player. When you play a critter or construction, you may replace 1 resource with another resource. I'm going to go ahead and not worry about. Oof. I was gonna say, and okay, I was gonna say, and not worry about what I use it for. Hey. Okay, I'll do it. Rolling in stone here, pebbles here. So, thanks. Okay, player 1. Player 1 wants to build this post office. Player 1 is able to build a post office because then he can also play a postal pigeon and potentially get a good card for it. Okay, so let's build the post office. And this is a worker spot post office. I'm going to set those down there. So we have our blue cards of, hey, make sure you're always going to do that after you play a critter or construction, which I just did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course I can draw 1 after just playing 1. Oh, and this is a nice monastery. Okay. And if you use this worker spot, give 2 of any resource to an opponent and gain 4 points. Okay, that's pretty good. If you've got like, I don't know, a couple berries that you're like, oh, man, I don't want to use berries. Well, then give yourself 4 points for it. Okay, so we have to still pay for this 1 and 2. Here we go, and 2 and 1. And that is the built, and we draw a card. So now player 2 can decide what they're going to do because they played out their whole plan. Oh no, player two forgot. Player two forgot. Oh no, oh no. Oof. Do you want player two to be that? I don't want player two to be that dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there was no drawing cards for player two. I'm sorry, buddy. Player two is not that dumb. I am, but I'm not going to let player two make that kind of mistake. Okay. Mistakes are fine, they're inevitable, but that one's too stupid for player two. Okay. It's player one. Player one going, oh sure, now you got fairgrounds there, but I don't have a fool to play on you. So, what is player one? Seriously, what is play? Oh, playing the postal pigeon. Okay, so yeah, for the sake of let's play something. Okay, reveal two cards. Reveal from the deck. You may play one worth up to 3 for free. Discard the other. Well, okay then. So player two is not going to know what I just draw. So let's see what we got. Up to 2. Ah, they're both 2. Okay. Oh, but player one has a judge. Player one has a judge. Player one has a judge. Yes, player one has a judge. Okay, I'm discarding this mine. Could be okay, of course. That hurts. But more points. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna set that over there. Okay. Postal pigeon. Let me play the courthouse. Not bad. Draw a card after you play a critter or construction. The postal pigeon is what I played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The postal pigeon is what I played. Ooh, ooh, another blue. Okay, after you play a critter. Okay, 2 berries for that. Gaining berries, that's not bad. When you're playing critters that you inevitably are going to be playing anyways. Okay, that's cool. Okay, and discard the other one. I discarded the other one. Okay, for the sake. Okay. Player twos. Player two. Player two. Also imagine. That's not bad. That's not bad. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that. Hey, let's go for it. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's build this. Let's build this. And by that I mean let's put a worker on the spot, gain the items. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do not gain a card, but we do gain the resin, which we just did. No. Okay. And then gain a resin. So when this gets built, and then when we get go into autumn, we will get 2 resins basically. So okay. I will live with that. Player one. Player one. So we have 2 twigs and a resin. Anything I can work with that? Nope, everything needs stone in my hand. And same with down here. Critters, of course, need berries, but in terms of constructions is what I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm just going to build the judge because I can. Okay, so the judge. I'll take this one of these, and put it right there. The judge, boom, is built. Okay. I did not build a construction. And draw a card after you play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another critter. Ooh, barge toad though. And this is a twig barge. But we need stone for that. Okay. Not the end of the world because we can still something judge. Okay. So player 2. What does player 2 want to do? Player 1 wants those berries. Player 2. What does player 2 want to do? Yeah, you can build this. You can build this right now. You could also get some twigs. You could also get some twigs and then build this after. And then you can gain a couple more stone. In this case, you're building it to gain the stone. I mean, if a minor mole comes out, then we'll probably end up using that as well. But right now, once this gets built, you get a stone. And then when autumn comes along, you get another stone. So 1 for 2. Okay, I will do that. Resources are that tight, especially with stone, that, oh, I need twigs. That's what I'm doing. Twigs. 1, 2, and a card. Ooh, the Wanderer. And you draw 3 cards when you play that one. And you need the lookout to... I just realized I probably can't draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that never happened. I'm good. I'm just good with that never happened. Let's move on. Player 1 wants to gain stuff, right? That was the plan? Because you want... Oh, the Barge Toad. Okay. Player 1 is really liking synergies, so let's see if we can... Barge Toad. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. We need a twig and a pebble. We need a pebble. In order to get a pebble, we need to probably play a critter or construction. Critter is our best bet. So then we can replace one of anything with one of anything. So if we play a critter, and we even have, like if we did, I would rather the teacher, because I would rather use the power for the Barge Toad. So I would rather use the teacher, and that we just need 2 berries is my thinking. Oh, no, I like blue cards better. Okay, so if I gain 2 berries, and there is a spot where I indeed can gain 2 berries. So 1, 2 berries. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do not draw a card as well, just the 2 berries. So playing a worker on the worker spot is our turn. So player 2. Player 2 has some nice resources and wants to play this mine. Boom. Mine. So that's 1 twig, 1 resin, 1 stone. And oh, what do you get? Oh, you get to gain a stone. You have to have the stone to gain the stone, but if you have the stone in the first place, you play it for free. So player 1 will play this. So the purpose of playing this is not necessarily to be able to gain a berry after playing a critter, which is of course not bad, but instead, when I play a critter construction, you may place 1 card with 1 card. And in order to play that twig barge, so that I can also play the Barge Toad, which is 2 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right there. That would play 11 cards once those 2 cards are done. So point is, I'm going to do the judge action instead of these other 2. Well, this isn't a construction anyways. This would never apply anyways. And draw a card after you play. Do I want to draw a card, or do I want to replace 1 with 1? So I can do these 2 or this one. So I'm doing this one. I'm replacing a berry with a stone. Player 1 really likes synergy for the sake of synergy. Okay. I did that wrong, didn't I? So this was payment for the shop. So twig barge. Probably want those. Okay, so that is what I played to exchange for stone. The 2 berries are gone. I exchanged a twig for the stone. That's played properly. Player 2 has okay, that's what he wanted to play for that. Because that was Pebbles was preferable to resin, so that's why. Okay, so now we have 2 pebbles and a twig. 2 pebbles and a twig. If we got, oh, we can't get one more resin right now. That's too bad. Because then we could have built the courthouse so that we can gain a resource whenever you play construction. That's not happening right now. So our options are to look up here and see if we have any of these. So player 1 clearly doesn't have 2 of each. No courthouse and ranger, no undertaker and barge, no monastery and wanderer. Okay, so that's fine. Player 2 does not have 3 of any kind, period. So he's not going to worry about that. It is also possible to discard cards from your hand. For every 2 cards you discard, gain a resource. So player 2 is thinking, maybe I do want to do that. Maybe I do want to get rid of that. Maybe I don't need 2 peddlers. Then gain 1 resource. So if I do that, and I went for the courthouse. Yes, this backwards from I already have a judge. Then that gets me everything I need to pay. To pay for the courthouse. Okay. Because then I can get stuff after I build constructions once that's built. Let's do that. So okay, let's do that. Let's hope that that's the right choice, or at least not the wrong choice. Sometimes you don't need to do the right thing. Sometimes you just need to not screw up. We play the worker here. That was the turn. So player 1 still has an enemy bull left. So the twig barge is what he wants to do. Twig barge is what he's going to do. Okay, that is all good. Twig barge. Oh, okay. And this is a green one, so just right away gain. Oh, does player 1 not have any other green ones? Oh, okay. Gain 2 twigs. Player 1 has 2 twigs and a resin. And refill this spot, of course. Wanderer, okay. You need to look out for that. There's no lookout out, and we don't have a lookout. Okay, so that's player 1's turn. Player 2. Player 2 has some nice things to construct, like resources for the sake of construction. So let's hope. And I can't put another judge in. It's a unique critter. So let's build a courthouse. Oh, you're going backwards, player. Yes, I'm well aware. I'm going backwards. Okay, so 2. So player, that's pulse the pigeon. Player 1. Oh, player 1 just built the twig barge. Oh, just built the twig barge and wants to build the barge toad. Very nice. Good for you. So let's put this on the twig barge. Put the barge toad on and lets us gain 2 for each farm. Oh, we don't have any farms. Farms never even came out, but we still get a point. Synergy for the sake of synergy is where player 1's going. So there just are no farms. We have harvesters, we have gatherers. Those are the ones I ended up going with. Harvesters and gatherers. Okay. Oh. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I knocked this camera over. Sorry about that. Not over, but just knocked it. So player 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards total. So we do not have 2 of each card. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that. Monastery isn't even out. An Undertaker's not out. And the Courthouse and Ranger. Ranger. I have not seen a Ranger. Okay, player 2. Player 2 is looking like they must go to winter. Player 2 must go to winter with no resources. Player 2 must go to winter. Do. And that means taking these ones. Okay. And also, any green cards? Yes, yes. So draw 2 cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means 6, 7. So player 2 adds a minor mole and a chapel. And there is a shepherd out here. And is there a mine? We do not have a mine. Okay. And gain a pebble. Well, that came in handy, having that card. Oh, yes, we have a mine. It's right there. Copy anything from another player's city. Okay. Well, this would be nice to just randomly gain 2 twigs, so I wouldn't have to worry about the twigs part of another construction. Okay, so that is headed into autumn now. Player 1. Player 1, player 1, player 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And still has an entire worker. I don't even care. If I need it, I'm taking it. So player 2. Does player 2 have a plan? Well, you can't do the fairgrounds. Player 2 already has a fairgrounds in their city, and it's a unique construction, so that cannot happen. So what else? We can play the minor mole right now. We could play the minor mole right now, which would give us 2 twigs, because I would copy that. And then we would have resin as well. We need resin as well. So maybe when player 1 goes into Innkeeper, Clock Tower Ruins. Let's say, yeah. Just go for the chapel. I think just go for the chapel. Which means playing the minor mole. Okay. Which means if we can get 2 resin, that just helps us out in the future. Okay, so for right now, player 1 has not gone into autumn yet. So yeah, let's play this now. Then when player 1, then we'll go to a spot that we want. We already have a pebble. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take this. Oh, that's a cardboard one. Take this and place it on the mine to play the minor mole. And we get to copy a green card in an opponent's city. And the green card we're going to copy is gain 2 twigs. There. And that's player 2's turn. Player 1. If player 1 wants to play a card, he can. General Store. Monastery. Give 2 of anything to an opponent and gain 4 points. That's not a bad card to have, especially at the end of the game. Okay. Yeah. What about out on the board? There is. It's pretty much no point. Okay. Oh. Oh, the chapel. I thought I. Okay. So that means I need to rethink about what it is what I want to do. So we don't have the monk. We don't have the monk. You don't need the monk. You just give 2 to an opponent and gain 4 points. See, isn't that nice? You can literally go to a spot. Or you can play a whole, or you can pay a whole 1 pebble. Yeah, but everything needs pebbles. That's not literal, but there's so much that needs pebbles. Like everything construction-wise, that isn't trash all your constructions, needs pebbles. Yeah, I don't want to. Ah. Yeah, but if I pay 1 now to build this, okay, let's hope that works out the way I would like it to work out. Okay, so that's player 1 building a crane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So player 2. Player 2 wants the chapel. So you need a twig. So you need a resin. Yeah, I don't want to stall anymore. Wait, am I able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, so I'm able to get a card. Resin. Maybe this is worth it. Oh, 2 pebbles? Come on. Okay. Oh, I played. No, I'd want to keep those anyway. Yes, I would have wanted to keep this anyways when I played this. Okay, so I would have wanted to do that anyways. Okay, so player 1. When playing a construction, you may discard this crane from your city to play that construction for 3 fewer of any resource. This one only requires 3 resources, so I'm going to replace this with this. That I'm hoping I can use later on. I'm hoping I can get a whole bunch of resources and end up trading them in for points. So that's built. So player 2. Player 2 is getting a little impatient, with player 1 still able to do stuff, but you have all these cards. What can you do? Also, it's not player 2's turn yet because draw a card after you play a critter or construction. Ranger. Yeah. Oh, and this is my, yeah. These are my, you can do all these as long as you can do these. And this is your, you can do this one instead. So I'm not going to replace because I can simply gain 1. So I'm going to gain a stone. And gain, that is not a critter. And I've probably been forgetting to do these. Probably when I played those, I probably forgot. I'm not going to put money on it though, so I'm just going to need another stone. If I want to play the ranger, to play the dungeon, to play the ranger. Okay. How do I get another stone? I need to play another construction. But in order to play construction, I need to have a stone. Oh my. Gain a stone or replace. Okay, well, player 1 played something, I'm sure. What did player 1 do? He didn't put his last frog out. What did player 1 do? Played the monastery. Just now? Oh, that's right. And then I had to come back because I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, so player 2 is going for the chapel and has everything needed for the chapel. Play something into your city, huh? So this takes out all the resources player 2 has. 1, 2, that one, and that one. Okay. The worker spot is to place 1 point on the chapel, then draw 2 cards. I'm wrong. This is after. Okay, order of operations. I was doing it wrong. So the top, so you read bottom down, right? So this is a chapel. There's a worker spot. Okay, so after you're on the worker spot, then you would place a point on the chapel, draw 2 cards for each point on the chapel. So if you wanted more cards, if you want 2 more cards, this is a good place to go. There's also the basic spot there, and you get the point for yourself rather than whoever's that is on. I'm sure that made sense. Okay, player 1. Monastery. Wanted to play that for the sake of playing it. Is there a construction? I could play the ruins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I have the option to play the ruins. And that draws 2 more cards. Okay. Synergy for the sake of synergy. Okay, so if I play the ruins on the post office, give it about 2 cards, draw. This is just a bunch of drawing cards. Okay, I get to keep the postal pigeon. So this is now discard. Gain resource equal to that construction's cost. 1 twig, 2 resin. And draw 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get a nice gatherer. Oh, now he kind of does want a harvester now. And another dungeon. All right. Okay. So draw a card after you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said. Draw a card after playing a critter or construction. Gain a twig or a resin or a pebble after playing a construction. So I'm gaining a pebble. And that was not a critter. Okay. Player 2. Player 2, who is already in autumn, and player 1. Oh, player 1 is still playing in summer. So that's a school. Teacher. We do not have a teacher. Chapel. Oh. See, this would be that you get a point for each point on your chapel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I will do that. Give myself just another extra point. Place a point on this chapel. Then draw 2 cards for each point on this chapel. So now we have a barge toad and storehouse. Wood carvers. Who is needed for the storehouse? Okay. So then this is an excellent card. Place either 3 twigs, 2 resin, 1 stone, or 2 berries on the storehouse from the supply. That's the first thing you do. Then worker's spot, take those resources. We need to have those resources in the first place. So that might not happen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Player 1. Player 1 wants to play a dungeon because he also has a ranger. Yep, that's the reason for it. I have a ranger, so I want to play the construction that puts the ranger in the city as well. When playing a construction or critter, oh, that's the ongoing power. You may place a critter from your city face down beneath this dungeon to decrease the crowd cost by 3 of any resource. Man, if I had a fool in my city, I'd definitely use that. So, may not be used with any card playing ability. Just like the judge. So you can do these 3. I mean, you can't really place 1 construction and gain cards for a construction and a critter, but those ones, or this one, or this one. Pick one. And I played that down. I didn't pay one, and oh, two pebble. One, two pebble. Okay, that's player one's turn. Player two. Player one still not going into autumn. Okay. 1, 1, and 1. I might not be getting stones anymore. And there's no more worker spots that gain me resources. Nor am I going to gain more resources through green cards anymore because I'm already in autumn. There is no more. There is nothing more. How do I gain resources? I can replace resources. I can do that when I play a construction, but I need resources to play the construction. And odds are good. I'm probably not going to get a pebble. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. The moment he moves into autumn, I'm taking a pebble spot. Okay, so if I already guarantee that, I'm just going to move this out of the way slightly. So if I already guarantee myself that, then what I'm going to do is... Okay, so he's already on that. Okay, the resins are already taken up. So a pebble and 2 resins. Ooh, that's a risk. A pebble and two resins. See, if I played the school, let's go with resources. Let's gather more resources. Let's take twigs. That way we have twigs. I'm looking at the school, and you need 2 twigs and 2 resin, which might be a little bit easier to actually get once taken up than trying to get 2 spaces. So 2 twigs and a card. Card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The card is not happening. Okay, so we got twigs. Player 1 wants to play the ranger, so he's going to. Dungeon is here, and this is a bindle, so the one-time ability is move one of your deployed workers to a new location. And unlock second dungeon. This means when playing a construction or critter, you may place a critter from your city face down beneath this dungeon to decrease the cost by 3. So you can do that. And you can do it a second time if you have a ranger. I do have a ranger. Cool. So I can place any, or yeah, I can play anything with a decreased cost of 3 of whatever resources. So, and I have the Fool to be able to do that. Actually, this Postal Pigeon is worth 0 as well, so I can keep that in mind as well. Fool first, Postal Pigeon, and Bard even. And these powers are already used up, and they're worth 0. I am able to do stuff. Player 2. Ranger, stop. Ranger was played. Draw a card after you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After you play. Okay, that's not a construction, but I get a berry for playing a critter. And I'm not doing that one. Okay, so now, remember I can do the dungeon twice. But I cannot do anything else if I do the dungeon twice. Player 2. Player 2 is in autumn and has 6... What are you even doing? Okay. So there's 3 greens. You need 4 to gain this basic event. So you can't even do that. Can't even gain a basic event. And you have 2 twigs. What are you even doing? Okay, so you need 2 twigs, 1 resin, which you can't get, 1 stone, which you can't, 1 pebble, which you can't get. You can't get resources, you can only get cards. Wait, draw 2 meta cards and play one for 1 less resource. Doesn't help. If I had one resin, I could play that school. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not happening. I guess we are playing the shepherd now. Okie dokie. The shepherd is now getting played. Because we would rather have resources right now that we can't get. Gain 3 berries. 1, 2, 3. Then gain a point for each point on your chapel. There is 1 point on the chapel, so I take 1 point. And let's just set it there. The shepherd is now played. This is a construction. When you play a critter or construction, you may replace one of any resource with one of any resource. So we're going to place this with a resin for the sake of building a school, because we recognize we're a little behind. So that's player two's turn. Was building a critter. Player one. Player one. So player one has 2 resin, 3 twigs, and a berry. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Ooh. How much is that school? Ooh. Ooh. And I'm even able to build it. Okay. Okay. Because if I use the dungeon, that makes it 13. So that put the school in. We're back to 14. And then I play the teacher, that's 15. And if I wanted to build something else, I have one more spot that I could put one of these 0 cost ones whose power is already used up anyways and is worth 0 anyways. That's what I'm doing. Okay, awesome. So when playing a construction or critter, and I will do that, I'm gonna do that. You may place a critter, the fool, from your city face down beneath this dungeon to decrease the cost by 3 of any resource. Boom. The first dungeon location is used up. Awesome. So this is just going to go back. I get to play this school, and I have the teacher, which is just, exciting times. Okay. And that's that. Oh, I didn't deploy a worker to a new location when I did this. Yeah, because you can do, okay, so you can do these card powers in any order. So I would gain the berry first. I'm going back to the last turn. Gain the berry first. Then move one of your workers to your deployed. So I am gonna go. Wander could have been okay. Just go with maximum points. 2. I have a gathering. Well, at least the wander is worth 1 point. Yeah, but the gather is worth 2 points. Just straight up worth 2 points, and it's common, so I can still draw it. I can still do this. I can still, at least I'll get 2 points for having done that. Ooh, castle. Okay, so that's gonna go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's fine, because I can still have a dungeon spot and still place that. Okay, I hope that was done right. The problem is I now don't remember whose turn it was. You know what? Let's have player one get closer to Autumn. We'll do that. So let's play this teacher. Okay. So the power is draw 2 cards, keep 1, give the other to an opponent. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can indeed draw 2, keep 1. So in, oh, in, or the chip sweep. Resin factory. Okay. Keep 1, give the other 2 and an opponent. For 3 fewer. Oh, if I can, yeah, I'm keeping this. Okay, yeah. Chip sweep goes to you. Wait, if you can even accept it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cannot even accept it. Okay, so the teacher has been built. Gain a berry after you build the teacher. Draw a card after construction or credit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That up there. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Player 1, you're building too fast. Shoot. If I, okay, to make up for it, to still do that, I'll just do this. Player 1 hasn't even entered autumn yet, and he has a full city. What was your plan? What else are you going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You have all these cards, and you can't play them. Okay, player 2. Player 2 has twig resin, but needs a pebble. A common story. Okay. But you do have 2 berries. Oh man, sorry about the silence, but it's like, what do I even do? I'm getting tired. Game Fool's been played. Shepherd's been played. The Judge was played before that one. It would be really nice to be able to play this Storehouse. Like seriously, what do I do? Gain 2 berries? It's the most things I can gain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cannot even gain a card. Player 1. You can't build a card, player 1. Well, time to go into autumn. And your green cards. Gain 2 twigs. Gain 2 twigs for each farm. I do not have a farm. This is it. Oh, draw 2 cards, keep 1, and give the other to an opponent. I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't draw cards. So this is actually should be there. So over greens. These are purples. Purples. Over bindles. That's 5 colors. Okay. That's it. Player one's done. Player two is going, okay, there we go. Something's opened up. What do I go for right now? I have to go for pebbles. I have to go for pebbles so I can play something. Let me build something. Player one. Player one's going, okay, I have a full city. I'm pretty sure I can't build anything. If I can't build anything, then I can only just get a bunch of points. If all I can do is focus on getting a bunch of points, and I ended up not getting 2 reds, so I can't get that Everdell Games one. Do I have a court? I do. Courthouse and Ranger? Yes, I have a courthouse and ranger. Oh, courthouse and ranger. A courthouse and ranger lets me take this. So courthouse and ranger. Oh, capture of the acorn thieves. When achieved, place up to 2 critters from your city beneath this event. And then you get 3 points for each critter beneath this event. Well, fantastic. Oh, this was used for this. Okay. For each, place up to 2 critters from your city beneath this. Oh, wait. Well, I'll do this and this. And now you are getting me more points than you would have. Okay. So I'm just done with this. I'll just toss it over there. Okay, so that's player one, who is happy to now have a lot more points. Critters. Player two, construction. So we can indeed build the storehouse. The storehouse gives us the option to get more goods. So that's 1, 1, and 1. But I only have 1 worker left. Oh man. Oh man. Only 1 worker left? Oh man. Am I able to make maximum use? What do I have? Player 2 has 2 twigs, 1 resin, 1 pebble. Let's see. If you want to go for maximum usage, you go for that one, and you go for this one. Okay, so you need 1 twig, 3 resin, 1 stone. So what you're going to do is put your 1 worker on the 2 resin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you cannot build, you cannot gain a card. So mine, oh, well, and your other guy's there anyway. So you're going to gain those. So that's your move this turn. Now player 1 is now just looking to maximize points. He has no more. There's no monastery wander. No. 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 And only 1 red card, so that's not happening. Okay, so what about basic events? We're just going to go for basic events. We need 4 greens. We're not able to do that. We need and I just checked. My understanding of this was slightly different than what it actually is. when you're putting it beneath this, these two guys are removed from the city. These are now just a part of this special event, so I have two more spaces to work with. So if I have two more spaces I'm still able to work with, then let's see if I can. So I have 4 twigs and 2 resin. This seems worth it. For 2 twigs and a resin, I can play a critter or something for 3 fewer whatevers. And I don't have the innkeeper, so I'm not going to use that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to build a construction. 2, 1. Now, when you build a construction, do you want to replace something? Probably not. Draw a card after you play a critter or construction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, cemetery. There's our Undertaker. Do we want to play the Undertaker, maybe? Okay. And that was gain one of those things after you play construction. Gain construction. I'll take this, and these cannot be done. Okay, so if I where did I put that? If I got another berry, and I have the ability to do so, to play the Undertaker, and I do have the Barge Toad as well. Okay. Croak, Wark here. When achieved, pay 2 berries. Oh, I would need another 2 berries. And discard 2 cards from your city. Oh, it would be lovely. 2 cards. I'd pay 2 berries. Oh, I need berries. Oh, I need to go to the berry spots to do that. So I need to gain a berry. Okay. A worker there, that plays him down. Plays another worker there. That's 2 berries. You pay 2 berries. Okay. And that gets rid of 1, 2. Player 2. Okay. Has a bunch of stuff. Now, what's getting built? You can build a resin factory. Let's just do that. Let's build a resin factory. And the chip sweep, I can play for free. My greens, gain a resin. That's done. Okay, so player 1 was wanting to from the meadow. That's from the meadow, from the meadow, from the meadow. Critter or construction from the meadow for 3 less. If I did that, that just gives me a berry. Or, I have the gatherer. Oh, gain 1 of anything if paired with a gatherer, and it would be. Oh, and if you have a farm. Farms haven't come out yet. Ah, drat. Okay, so I do have to go for this one then. Play a critter or construction from the meadow for 3 fewer. And this is only 2, so I'm going to go. And I do not have a farm, so I just gain the 1 berry. This is green. Okay, so for the 1 berry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Arga. can't play. I can't play the Undertaker now. So, okay, so I'm just not going to. I have to give that berry back. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just going to gain a berry the old-fashioned way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't gain a card, but I'll gain the berry. But player 2 also can't place, oh, a worker there. Okay, whatever. Ah, but then I don't get the 2 berries. And player 2 doesn't have a spot that I'm able to go to. Cemetery. Do not have a cemetery. A dungeon, ruins, but not a cemetery. And cemetery is not out on the board. Rat. Well, it's player 2's turn anyway, so let's worry about player 2 right now. We can play a post office. Because we have the resources for it. 2, no pebbles. No pebbles. Well, I guess we're just building what we can. 1 and 2 resin. Okay. So if I did this, I can gain something. Oh, I can gain the... Oh, but then I can't. Oh, but I still get 2 points for it. Yeah, probably not going to be getting another pebble. Player 1, and the conundrum of how do I get 2 berries? How do I get 2 berries? How to play the cemetery Undertaker so that I can get this, so that I can pay 2 berries, so that I can discard 2 cards from my city. And this card says I only need 1 berry. Player 2. You want to build that? Yeah. We need construction, man. We need to get some points. Okay. These are the 3 twigs, 2 resin, 1 stone, or 2 berries on the storehouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And with, I kind of feel like, oh, it doesn't matter. Because I don't have workers to get any of that. And it's not an open spot, so player 1 can't go to it. I'll put a stone there to remind them that you can't go for that. Player 1. Is going to get this. No, he's not. He's going to, first, he's going to pay the cost to play the Undertaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 berries have been paid. 15. Okay. That's player 1's turn this round. Player 2. Looks like all we do now, we have 4 berries. We can build stuff into the city. We ain't getting anything else. So let's build this critter into the city. When you play critter construction, you may replace one thing with one thing. That's not happening. I'm going to spend the berries. Player 1 now wants the Undertaker achievement event. Okay. He has an Undertaker and a Bard Toad now. Croak Ward Cure. When achieved, pay 2 berries. I can, and discard 2 cards from your city. Okie dokie. This is achieved. Pay. Oh, I see what I did wrong. When I played the Undertaker, what I meant to do was replace 1 resource with another resource. So that's what happened there. So now pay 2 berries and discard 2 cards from your city. Everything else is just worth 1 point. And these are one-time use anyways. Discard. Nice. Player 2 has 2 berries left. Might as well play shoot, I should have played this innkeeper first. Instead of the historian. Let's, you know what, whatever. I'm going to do that. So I played the innkeeper first. When playing a critter, you may discard the innkeeper from your city to decrease the cost by 3. I think in the end the points work out to be the same. I never said I was a smart man. Okay. Okay, that's worth 3 berries anyways. Okay, so that's player 2. Player 1. So the next thing player 1 wants to do, see if we can build something. Surely there's something. Okay, so can we maximize the use of resources? So we have 2 guys. We did, let's say we did that. Oh. Ooh. But we can't get resin anymore. Drat. What about... Is there something that uses 1? 2? Nope. Okay. So it looks like I can build 1 thing. So far, this is that thing, or the general store, which gives me 1 berry. And I can't gain any more resin unless I exchanged for something. Okay, so that's an out. I will do that. I'm going to build this general store for 1. I'm going to gain a berry. This gives another green, so 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Now, place 1 with 1. Place 1 with 1 means that I would have to okay, farm. I've just lost track of what I'm doing. Okay, so that's flipped up. Gain a berry. Berry is gained. Draw card. Do I want to replace? Was that the plan? Do I want to replace this, which gives me a resin? If I had 1 resin, then I could build a farm. Now I don't have a harvester. And I do not have one in my hand. I have a second gatherer. It still gives me a farm, right? If I replaced, so if I gained, what does this need? 2 twigs and a resin. So if I replaced this for resin, and I gained a twig, that's this. Wait, I can't replace if I'm doing this. I can't replace if I'm doing this. Did I have? I had a twig and a berry. Okay. What do I need? I can get a bunch of twigs. I have the ability to get twigs. So if I use this to replace with resin, put this twig back. Now I have 1 twig, 1 resin. Okay. So that's probably what I'm going to do next turn then. Why is this over here? I have a random card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? That's what I built, a second general store. There are 2. There are 2 berries. They're both worth 1 point. They're both about over here. There's 1 point. 3 berries. With 3 berries, I can. No, the judge is unique. I cannot do the judge. Arg. And I'm not able to get any more. So it looks like I'm stuck. Spending 2 berries for peddler, and I can pay up to 2 of anything to gain equal amount of something else. If something I was able to construct something for a single something, I would, but I can't. Player 1, who has 15 cards now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. What else can he do? Monastery Wanderer, 2 of each. You do not have 2 of each. Okay. Now you just want to go for basic events? Or, alternatively, you have a bunch of cards that you're not going to be... Yeah, let's do that. So, let's journey. Must discard cards equal to points. So if I'm going to 5 points, that means I must discard 5 points, and we're in autumn, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's... Yeah, everything needs pebbles. This is ridiculous. Okay, so, well, 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's discard it, and we get 5 points for having done that. 3, 4, 5. So player 1's doing that. Player 1 still has a guy, but I think player 2 must pass. Okay, so back to player 1. You have 1 resin, 1 twig. But 15... Or I could just say, hey, I only did 4 cards, so let's now let's do 2 cards. How about we just do that? Okay, let's just do that. Okay. Not player 2's game. That's fair enough. Let's count up our points. So 3 points for each creator beneath the city. So this is 6 points. 12. 12, what is this? Sorry, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 36, 37, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 22. Okay. Wow. Thank you very much for joining me as I do this playthrough of Everdell. And we'll see you next time. Have fun.